Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about one of the latest products from Prometheus Design Works. Some of you may have seen the previous video that I did on the layering system that I typically use. So today we're going to be talking about a new product from Prometheus Design Works, and we're going to be talking about the features and all that stuff and how it fits into my layering system. Basically, the layering system that I use is based loosely on the PCU, or Protective Combat Uniform, layering system that the US military came up with. So what I have here to my right are some of the Prometheus Design Works products that I currently use, organized in a similar fashion to what you would see in a similar layering system that I had just talked about. So this is everything minus the undergarments, level 1, level 2. If I had their Jack's hoodie, that could possibly fit into that level 2 category. But first off, we'll start with level 3, which we have the DA hoodie there. It's a heavy fleece. And then we have the Beast hoodie, which is probably more similar to what you would see. It uses the same material as the Polar Tech used in the level 3 of that Protective Combat Uniform clothing system. Then we have the level 5, which is a bit of a hybrid product with my Defiant hoodie. Because it's a soft shell technically, but it is fully seam taped, which makes it sort of an in-between your layer 5, which is a true soft shell, and your layer 6 waterproof garment. Then we have their new Paladin hoodie, which also came out this year. This is strictly a soft shell garment. It is quite heavy, but it would fit into that level 5 category. And then we have this new product that we're going to be talking about shortly. Finally, we have the Stratus hoodie, the Stratus down hoodie for the level 7 category. I'll almost always have a hard shell whenever I go out on any of our trips. However, the amount of times that I actually end up using my hard shell is probably something that I can count on my one hand. Hard shells typically tend to be on the higher price range as far as your layering system, and it will also be arguably the most fragile. However, when you do need it, you really do need it. So it's a garment that you really want to take care of, even when there is some moisture, when it's maybe drizzling, raining, or unless there's a real torrential downpour. I'm probably not going to be wearing my hard shell. I'll typically be wearing a level 5 type garment, such as the Patagonia level 5 PCU shirt. And the reason for that is because while it is going to get soaked pretty quickly, it's going to dry pretty quickly as well. Hard shells, while they are designed to prevent the elements from entering, it also does create a barrier from your sweat and the internal heat from being expelled to the outside, which can cause you to be quite stuffy. So in the morning, if you get up and it's raining, you throw on your hard shell. When I start get going on the trail, after about 10 minutes, I'm going to want to remove that hard shell because I'm getting really stuffy. No matter how high quality the material is, you're going to have this effect to a certain varying degree. And there's not really any point in wearing a hard shell to prevent the moisture from coming into your body if your sweat and the vapor on the inside is being collected on the inside of your garment, essentially you're going to get wetted out from the inside. Instead, I use my hard shell when I'm in a static situation, such as at base camp, when I'm trying to set up my tent and that kind of thing, when my level of activity is not going to be super high. I will also throw on my hard shell if we're, say, stopping in the middle of a hike to take a little break, because it's going to get cold out in the mountains. I do want to keep that warmth, trap that warmth next to my body. So I'm going to throw on my hard shell over the top of my level 5, and that warmth will keep my, will help dry out my internal layers. I can also wear my hard shell as a level 6 garment underneath, say, a cold WX insulative layer, as an added way to further trap heat and create that insulation to trap that valuable heat. There's so many different brands, models, and specifications of hard shells out there that it can sometimes be quite overwhelming. I know it was for me, and I had to learn over time what hard shells were suitable for what and what to just absolutely avoid. The earlier years of my outdoorsmanship, I didn't really know a lot about gear. So I kind of just went to the REI or the MEC and just looked for something that was a hard shell. Is it waterproof? Was it within my price range? And went ahead and bought that. So one of those earlier purchases was this alley jacket from MEC, or Mountain Equipment Co-op. It's kind of the Canada version of REI. So this was under $100. It did the job. However, where it kind of falls short is the breathability. Breathability is measured using the moisture vapor transmission test, or MVTR. So whenever you see the garment specifications, you're looking for the MVTR, and that will tell you the breathability of the garment. As far as breathability goes, you probably want to find something with an MVTR rating of about 20,000 or higher. So when I got a little bit more into the sport, I started looking at other options. A big name that was being thrown around during that time was Gore-Tex. So I went out and bought what I found was the best Gore-Tex garment within my price range at the time, which led me to purchasing this Arc'teryx Leaf Alpha LT. But at the time, this particular hard shell was in around the $700 range. I think it's gone a little bit higher than that now. I think closer to $800. So this is an earlier generation of this particular jacket. It used Gore-Tex Pro. I believe the Arc'teryx Leaf garments now use a different Gore-Tex product. I did try to call Arc'teryx to find out the specifications on that, on the Gore-Tex that they're using currently on their Leaf line, but they weren't able to provide me with any information. And I even contacted Gore-Tex, and they weren't able to tell me much either. So the comparison I'm going to make between the Aegis hoodie will be primarily on the older Arc'teryx Leaf Alpha LT, which is made with Gore-Tex Pro. So the Arc'teryx Leaf Alpha and a lot of their higher end products is pretty much the gold standard when it comes to hard shells. Now, what if there was a garment that would give you a lot of the performance benefits of the Leaf Alpha LT without that high price tag? The Aegis LT is a fully seam taped hard shell, and it is built with the serious outdoorsman in mind. While they did have the Defiant hoodie, which is a fully seam taped shell, it is a hard shell soft shell hybrid. So the benefits, of course, of the Defiant is that because it is a hybrid hard shell, soft shell, you will have a little bit more abrasion resistance and durability with that material. However, it'll also be a little bit heavier and not as packable. The Aegis LT is meant to be super compact, very lightweight, and won't take up much room in your pack. Let's go over some of the technical specifications of the Aegis LT. So the Aegis uses a 40D mini ripstop nylon with C6 DWR coating. Aegis LT is constructed out of PDW's proprietary custom milled StormTech laminate. This is not to be confused with the company StormTech. At least on paper, it seems very comparable to Gore-Tex Pro in performance and weight, with a medium-sized Aegis weighing 54 grams less than the Arc'teryx Leaf Alpha in the same size, and about 100 grams more than the Leaf Alpha LT, the latter of which being a weight difference equal to that of an apple or a deck of cards. Let's go over some of the key features, starting with the helmet compatible hood. The helmet compatible hood is compatible with most climbing helmets, including a few of the other non-conventional type helmets, such as the Team Wendy SAR X-Fill or the OpsCore style helmets. If you are wearing a combat style helmet with all the accessories on the helmet itself, while this is a helmet compatible hood, just be cognizant that all of those accessories may impact the hood's ability to fit properly over the top of that helmet. Because it's not a stowable hood, if you were to wear it down, the hood itself would create a sort of a bucket, a receptacle for snow or rain to get in there. As an alternative, you could wear it underneath your helmet to offset that issue. The hood is also equipped with a small bill at the front, which eliminates the need to wear a ball cap. The Aegis LT features 2 zippered main chest pockets, 2 zippered upper sleeve pockets, 1 zippered inside pocket with all-terrain graphic and pen slot, laser cut loop panels on both upper sleeves, full front wind flap. The cut and fit of the Aegis LT I found to be quite similar to that of the Leaf Alpha LT or the Leaf Alpha. It allows ample room for layering over personal protective equipment. I typically wear a size medium in all garments, and I'm wearing a size medium Aegis LT as well. For the backcountry, you want a garment to be roomy enough to allow you to add layers without compressing those layers down, because the loft is what provides you with that to be able to trap heat. And if you had a garment that was too tight fitting, it would compress that loft and then therefore trap less heat. But if you are primarily going to be wearing this in town, in an urban environment, and you want it to look a little bit more fitted, you could certainly go a size down. The Aegis has a drop back hem at the rear, although it's not quite as aggressive as the drop back on the Leaf Alpha LT. And this is just to prevent water that is coming off of the back of the jacket from landing on your butt. If you're a bit on the taller side, I think you would like the fit of this garment as well. I have a relatively short torso, so the length of this garment does look a bit long for me, so I tend to cinch it up at the hem and kind of tuck it in a little bit at the bottom. So in summary, the Aegis LT is a great choice as far as hard shells go for the professional user and for casual users who are using it more in an urban environment. This is built for the adventurer, and it's light enough and packable enough to be able to fit into my pack and not take up a lot of room. And it has all the performance capabilities that you would from garments that are 3 times the price of this garment. So I've had the Aegis LT now for several months, and I've been using it quite a bit. And being in the Pacific Northwest, I've had a lot of opportunity to really put it to use and test its capabilities in the environment it was designed for. So if you're looking for a designated hard shell, I would not hesitate recommending the Aegis LT, especially if you are going down the road and looking at Leaf Alpha LT or Leaf Alpha hard shells, but are maybe balking at the price. This is an excellent option to look at. So in the interest of full disclosure, I will mention that this garment was provided to me by Prometheus Design Works. However, I am very clear with those that send us garments that we are going to be completely honest about the performance of the garment. We do not get paid to promote this product, and whether or not you buy the product, we don't get any kind of benefit for that directly. I will mention that because of the amount of time that it takes to make these videos and to go out and test them, and we take all of this gear out into the real world, into our activities in the backcountry. So we do a lot of research prior to reaching out to these companies, telling them that we're interested in a certain product. We won't be doing that unless we've already kind of vetted these products beforehand. So the chances that we are going to actually take the time to review any product that we may not like or that we don't like, we're just not going to bother with it, because it is pretty time consuming to do all of the research and to get out there and test it, and we wouldn't want to be caught in the wild with gear that is subpar. Well, that's a wrap. I hope you found this video somewhat useful and informative. If you have any suggestions on how we can make these videos more user-friendly, more relevant, and maybe a little bit easier to be able to get through, go ahead and put it in the comment section below. I'm always trying to improve on my videos. Some comments that we got was that the music was kind of annoying, so I omitted that from these videos. Let me know what you think. If you got something out of it, if you wouldn't mind taking a moment and just consider hitting that like and subscribe, and maybe hit that alert so you're notified anytime that a new video gets uploaded. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we'll see you guys outside.